Almost everyone who loves coffee has had the same daydream. Quit the job, open a little cafe, spend your days pulling perfect shots for grateful regulars. Here is what that dream actually costs month by month and why most of them are gone within 5 years. Start with the money you spend before you sell a single cup. A coffee cart or a tiny kiosk can open for $25,000 to $75,000. A small cafe with a bit of seating runs $80,000 to $200,000. And a full-service shop in a prime location can climb past $300,000 before the first customer walks in. For a standard independent cafe, 800 to 1,200 square feet in a mid-sized city, the realistic number is $150,000 to $250,000 to build it out. The espresso machine alone can be $15,000 to $30,000. Then there is the fit-out, the counter, the seating, the refrigeration, the permits, the deposits. But here is the number most first-timers miss. On top of the build, you need $60,000 to $100,000 in working capital. Cash that just sits there to cover rent and wages during the months before you turn a profit. Skip that cushion and the shop can be busy and still die, which is exactly what happens to most of them. Think about what that means. Two people can open identical cafes on the same street, same machine, same beans, same prices. The one who opened with $100,000 in reserve survives the first hard year. The one who spent every dollar on a beautiful fit-out does not. The customers never see the difference. The bank account does. Once the doors open, a new clock starts and it does not stop. A typical independent cafe in the United States burns $15,000 to $45,000 every month just to exist. Rent is $3,000 to $8,000. Labor, the single biggest line, is $6,000 to $14,000 and it only goes up as wages rise. Cost of goods, the beans, the milk, the cups, the pastries is $4,000 to $9,000. Then power, water, card fees, insurance, repairs, and the software that runs the till. None of that cares whether it rained today or whether the espresso machine broke at 8 in the morning. This is the part the daydream never includes. You are not really in the coffee business. You are in the business of covering a fixed monthly number, and coffee is just the tool you use to do it. And look at the shape of that spending. Labor and rent together often eat half of every dollar that comes across the counter before you have paid for a single bean. That is why you will see a cafe with a line out the door quietly cut its opening hours, or move to counter service, or lean hard on the morning rush. Every one of those decisions is an attack on labor, because labor is the number that can actually be moved. So how much coffee does it take to cover that nut? This is where it gets sobering. Break-even is fixed costs divided by the profit you keep on each cup. Say your fixed costs are $10,000 a month, and you keep about $7 of margin on each drink after ingredients. That is roughly 1,400 cups a month, or about 48 a day. That sounds easy, until you realize that is the floor just to not lose money. A full-service cafe in an expensive city often needs 300 to 500 cups every single day. A suburban shop, 200 to 350. A quiet residential corner, 150 to 250. And the lever that matters most is not foot traffic, it is the average ticket. A shop where people spend $6 to $8 breaks even on far fewer customers than one stuck at 3 or 4. A single dollar added to the average order can drop your daily break even by 20 customers. That is why every cafe pushes the pastry, the extra shot, the oat milk upgrade. It is not greed, it is survival math. Now the hard number. Roughly 60% of independent coffee shops close within 5 years. And the reason is rarely the coffee. The single biggest killer is undercapitalization, running out of cash before the shop matures. Most cafes take 6 to 18 months to reach break even. If you opened with just enough to build the place and nothing left over, you are trying to survive that ramp up on the daily till alone. And the first slow winter, the first broken compressor, the first rent increase can end it. The ones that survived did one boring thing right. They opened with a cushion, 3 to 6 months of full operating expenses in the bank, so a bad month was a bad month and not the end. There is a cruel irony in it. The cafes people love most, the independent ones with character, are the ones most likely to be undercapitalized, because they were started by someone chasing a passion rather than building a spreadsheet. The chains that feel soulless survive precisely because they treated it as the ruthless numbers game it actually is. And after all of that, the surviving cafe is not printing money. A well-run independent coffee shop nets somewhere between 2.5% and 6 or 7% at the end of the year. On a shop doing $400,000 a year in sales, that can be as little as $10,000 of actual profit. For an owner who worked open to close, 6 or 7 days a week, and personally guaranteed the lease. That is the trade. The romance is real, the community is real, the regulars who know your name are real. But the economics are unforgiving. A single quiet quarter, one unexpected rent hike, one new cafe opening across the street, and that thin slice of profit turns into a loss the owner covers out of their own pocket. There is almost no cushion between a good year and a bad one, which is why so many owners describe it not as a business, but as buying themselves a very demanding job. The whole thing runs entirely on two levers. Keep the fixed costs down and push the average ticket up. Everything else, the latte art, the playlist, the plants in the window, is just what makes people want to hand you the money in the first place. So the next time a favorite local cafe quietly closes, it usually was not the coffee. It was the math. Follow for more on how hospitality actually makes its money.